Hey, what's up, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am a mom, wife, and multi-passionate business owner, and so I love sharing everything about marketing, business, and the crazy in-between life of living both worlds of motherhood and business. So today I figured I would do a day in the life of taking you through my day today, which, that's annoying. I figured I would take you through my day today to kind of show you the difference. So this season, I've really been leaning on the fact that I can control my time. I just shared in a recent podcast episode of just kind of the struggle of being an entrepreneur and a mom. And I think especially just being an entrepreneur is sometimes we fall into the mindset of sticking things into that 9-to-5 box, which is one of the reasons that we become entrepreneurs in the first place, or one of the best perks of it. So I've really been leaning into this season of owning my time and making it work for me with zero guilt, which if you are a mom, the guilt is hard. So today I'm actually going into my kiddo's school to go help out with something that the teacher asked me to. So it looks not too much different than most of my days, but I do have a lot of creative projects going on right now. I'm in the process of doing a brand refresh for my own brand. I have some creative projects that I'm working on in the background for clients, and it's just been so fun. So there's a lot of creative juices going, and with that comes a lot of awareness of my energy and where I'm putting that, especially raising 3 kiddos in the meantime. So right now I am sipping on my last bit of coffee. I've been getting my morning ready and kind of planned out of what I kind of want to do for my flow today. And I'm going to finish getting 2 pieces of content ready for today. My goal by next week, and especially tomorrow, I've blocked off my Fridays for some like creative process time in the morning is what I'm going to try, because Fridays are kind of like a catch-up day for me, and I usually don't work Fridays, or it's kind of like a free-for-all. So I'm just going to use that in the morning to do some fun creative projects. So I'm actually going to do all my content. If I need to batch and film some stuff, I'll do it tomorrow, or also getting like all the editing done. So next week is all done. So we'll be ahead of time. I'm not having to do things the day up. I'm usually pretty good at batching and being ahead of time, but that's not where this season has been. So we're getting on track with that. Okay, so gonna get those 2 posts done, get some things edited, and then we're gonna go get in a workout. Of course, we're diving right into it, and we are going to make bread. I actually just started doing this a few months ago, and I love it. My kids go through so much bread, especially having 3, and you realize how expensive that is. So I decided to try for my second time making bread. Now, I haven't even been brave enough to do sourdough yet. I can't even think about it, but so far, I've been able to figure out doing sandwich bread, and they absolutely love it. They have the toast for the morning, and then I've slowly ventured out into other things. So we are out of plastic wrap, which is why I have made this. I read somewhere in one of those Facebook groups that randomly suggested to you, you're not supposed to use aluminum, so that's why I kind of created that barrier. But I don't know, I have to ask you guys, are you getting the random suggested Facebook groups that you should join or you might be interested in? Because they're 100% not what I'd be interested in, but I've learned so many random facts that I've just added to my collection of random factsness. So I'm not even mad about it now. I come across so many random things. So I'm curious to know in the comments what you guys think too, if you are getting those suggestions on Facebook as well. And yes, this is an icing scraper for the bowl. I 100% need to upgrade some of my baking stuff. So I figured since I'm sticking with it, and I've been doing this for the last few months, that it's definitely worth it now. So if you have any recommendations, or if you bake yourself, I would love to know what your favorite tools are that are must-haves in the kitchen. And I swear, whenever I make bread, which I try to do weekly, but it's been really busy lately, I haven't made it for quite a little bit, but when I do make it, at least it makes 3 loaves what I do make, and I double the recipe. But when I do this, at least half of it's gone. A loaf and a half is gone because everyone loves it so much. So it's a trade-off, but it's definitely cheaper. We definitely get like the huge 25 pound of flour from Sam's Club, and we love it. And then we just use it throughout the week. So it doesn't take too long. It's just kind of fitting it in and timing it, just being intentional with planning around that. But as you'll see in here, I've kind of worked it into my day, and it is something that my kids love and will actually eat, which is a win for itself. So I've already dropped the kiddos off at school. This has been her favorite spot lately, is right behind me, which my back is not happy about, but like she's just too cute. So I'll always start the day trying to plan out and either move some tasks around that I didn't get to for the last few days, or I try to plan out my week on Fridays, and if I need to make any adjustments to my days based on how I'm feeling or how my energy is feeling that week or just anything that's popped up, then I'll do that and then just mark my priorities for the day. This was one of my favorites to go back and edit because I realized that her head kept falling and she was falling asleep. She's just so comfortable, and probably because I have the heater on in here too. But I will sit here and go through my priorities for the day and then kind of work through what needs to get done. And then I try to batch as much as possible for the next week. But if I don't get to it, then I just kind of prioritize. I'm in a unique spot with my business right now where while I'm in the middle of a brand refresh for myself, it kind of means a pause on some of the content because I'm bulking it and batch creating it in the beginning. So it'll be ready by the time I relaunch the brand, and then just working on some creative projects in the background. So it hasn't been too much, and while I've been refining all the messaging in there, it's been really easy to be able to do. Never seen her like this, didn't think it existed, no truly. Of course, I will always usually have a background show if I'm doing something that doesn't take my entire energy. So of course I have Gilmore Girls going on, and right now I'm just sitting here and laying out some of the layouts for my Instagram just to kind of see the new branding in it and how I kind of want to play with the aesthetic on there. I usually don't even do this with clients as far as like a specific grid. I've had people ask me that before, but I don't see it makes a huge deal in how the layout goes, if there's a pattern or whatnot. What I actually do and what I recommend to clients is overall creating the feel of the brand and what you want to make your audience feel. So that is the overall strategy that I use that works really well and has worked well when we've done refreshes on clients' Instagrams before. So if you are a small business owner or brand who is needing just maybe an audit or a refresh, we'll have availability coming up. If you're interested in that, please feel free to either drop a comment or send an email, and the email is listed below for the agency. And we just do a little audit and then a little facelift and refresh. Also, this is my favorite. I always include call it an organic Instagram funnel, which absolutely helps get the eyes and attention and funnel people through as soon as they see your account coming from any of your suggested content, and then funnel them through to convert them to a follower. So it's been one of my favorite things. It's tried and true. I've tested it myself. I've designed the strategy, tested it multiple times across multiple different niches and fields, and is by far my favorite thing to help clients implement it. So if it's something that you're wanting to do, please feel free to reach out to the agency, and I would be 100% happy to get you on the books and work with you. I have been really trying to get in movement wherever I can, and I haven't been really strict with myself in what kind of workout I'm doing. I am trying to get strength training in a couple times a week. I used to be very, very routine with this a few years ago before I moved, but it didn't quite stick with it, which I'm fine with because I just had to be okay with the changes and where I was this season. We've had a really rough couple of seasons just trying to manage everything, and so giving myself grace has been the absolute thing that I've had in my mind. The protein that I'm using right now has been one of my favorites. It's from My Protein, and it's a clear whey isolate, and it is so good. It literally tastes like juice, and it blends up really well. Of course, I'm rocking it in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shaker, and then I have to give my hubby credit where this is due because we recently just moved one of our TVs down to the gym, and when you turn off all of the lights, it's like the most awesome ambiance to be able to just put on a show and relax. Of course, I'm watching Disappeared. It's a true crime doc. I love watching those reruns on there. And so I will usually, if I'm feeling like a low energy day or just need to be able to get some of just kind of, I call it like stagnant energy moving, especially working as a creative and working from home and as an entrepreneur, I just like to get moving. Sometimes I'll not even put it in incline, but put my laptop desk that we have attached to the treadmill and just work and walk, because it tends to just release a lot of creative ideas and whatnot. And I'll just work on there just so I get some movement in.
but I will usually just do an inclined walk, and it feels, one, low on my joints and low on inflammation, but two, it just gets my heart rate going, and I absolutely love it. So I'll usually always add in some core work, especially since I do sit on big edit days where I'm sitting at the computer. I know that I'll want to do this, and it absolutely helps because, of course, back from my fitness days, your core and your back work together entirely. And then one of my favorite things I do, and I will do this after every workout and even before a workout, is I foam roll. And if you don't have one, you absolutely need to do it. I swear this is the only way I can crack my back, because I carry all my stress on my shoulders, and it just releases so much. It's amazing. So because our house is so cold, it's a little quirky. I have to put on our little heater to make sure that the bread rises. So this is the second rise. I'm popping it in the oven, and for some reason this batch gave me the most difficult time, but they turned out amazing. So while they're in the oven, I went ahead and showered after my workout. I'm getting ready because I'm going to my kiddos' school to help out. This is going to be my youngest. We have 3 girls, and they are ages 8, 6, and 4. So we've had lots of birthdays back to back since August. I have like a trail of birthdays nonstop, I feel like, between all the holidays. So it's just one after the other. So I'm getting ready now, and of course I always have a dog in tow. They're always getting into things. If you've been following along, we decided to get our dog a dog. So we don't like to call him senior, but he is older. He moved with us. He was a rescue dog from Arizona, and we wanted to get him a puppy. And as we went, someone told us about this litter of puppies that was born. And so we're like, okay, let's go look. And sure enough, we walked out with not 1, but 2, because how do you decide? So they are 10 months old now, and 10 months, maybe 9 months. They're handfuls, but they're so worth it. So I have no fancy baking skills. I'm by far not a professional baker whatsoever, but this is my trick for getting the butter on there. It's just taking a fork and putting it right over it, and it gives it the most beautiful crust. And so once these are done, I decided to sit down and get some work done in the table. This is one of my favorite places to work in our house, because we have, during the winter, these big windows in front, and the sun comes in and it feels so good. Our dogs also love to sit on this bench that we have at the table because they fit perfectly. So she's actually laying down right next to me. I have to first begin with the story. I decided to sit here and draw out some ideas I'm doing face painting for my kids today. My kids' teacher, my littlest, who is in preschool, asked me if I could come in and paint the kids' faces because they're working on letter F. And I was like, sure, why not? So long story short, this one time 2 years ago, I decided to be a great mom. We were new to the school. It was school Hanukkah party, and I was like, yeah, let me know how I can help. And so they said, okay, well, our face painter is out sick today, so there's either the face painter or painting nails. And I was like, oh, I'll let the other girls paint nails, because there were some 7th and 8th graders, and I was like, I can try to do face painting. You know, my mom was a kindergarten teacher. She always did all this crafty stuff. I was in a sorority, so obviously I have some crafty skills in me somewhere. It's been a while, but sure. So we did face painting. The kids loved it. I literally pulled up things from Pinterest, and I was like, what would you like? And they're like, I want a dragon. I want a shark. And so we were just winging it. There's no other way to describe it. So somehow after that, I've become the unofficial school face painter. I've done 2 more get-togethers that they've had. Somehow in between there, one of the moms, I think from the school, had recommended me in a Facebook group on a party because someone was looking for their child's birthday party. And I'm like, immediately no. I appreciate how much you think that I'm great, but I am not a professional, and nope, I can't do that. So that's where this has ended up. So I decided for the kiddos, Ella had no idea that I was coming into her classroom. I just told her she had a big surprise. And so I decided to sit here and just draw some ideas out instead of being like, what do you want? And look through Pinterest. So I'm literally pulling up my computer next to me, looking at Pinterest at kids face painting ideas, and decided to draw this on here. I also want to add too, I have not drawn on an iPad for a long time. I'm by no means even good at it, but I did open up, 3-4 years ago, a digital template shop. And I've made digital calendars, digital planners, and then I made some stickers as well. And I've actually taught myself how to do all of this. Literally how I taught myself how to edit videos, literally how I have taught myself to do any skill. I have researched and looked it up on YouTube. So I'm a full believer that if there's something that you're wanting to do, honestly, the only thing holding you back is just the lack of putting yourself out there, which can be terrifying, but it's 100% worth it. And we have Google and YouTube, one of the biggest things that our generations before us wish that they had.
I'm headed to go face paint some preschoolers, and I wanted to share one of the things that I've been loving doing. I've been doing with the kids, but also I have been totally in my like British era of shows and books, and so one of my favorite things that I've been doing is finding ones that are included in Audible. I've done Audible for a while just for like personal development books, but like didn't really find anything from it, and I ended up with like just a ton of credits that you would have to just go spend. But lately I've been doing a lot of Audible books from them that are included in the membership, so you don't have to use any credits on. And I have found an author. I'm so particular with the narrators because, and I think it's the same with podcasts too, it can't sound like scratching to my ears. If you listen to audiobooks, you totally know what I'm talking about. This one is called, the author's K.L. Slater, and I think this is the 5th or so book that I have read from them, and it's so good. It has like a little bit of mystery, well, they're all pretty much mysteries, and like a bit of thrill to it. So I literally have 17 minutes left in this book, and I'll usually put this on when I'm cleaning, when I'm driving. So I'll switch between this and podcast, my favorite true crime podcast, and then I'll usually have a slot where I do like business and like entrepreneur podcasts. But this one is called Missing. It's so good. I highly recommend it. There's a couple others that they've done. Husband and Wife is one. The Bedroom Window, and these are all ones that are like free on the membership. So if you have Audible, I highly recommend it. But I am going to go finish listening to that and then go see my littlest. Preschoolers are face painted, and I was gonna let Ella do a little caterpillar on my cheek, and somehow we ended up all over my face. So I'm really hoping, and putting this on there, that I get some cool mom points. But the worst part is I just had to walk through the parent pickup line. So lots of questions, I'm sure. But the kids had a fun time, and I'm pretty sure I will use this at some point to remind the littlest one how much I love her. Obviously, it's the next day because that's just kind of how our afternoons are like after school. Picking the kids up, homework, dinner, and then yesterday I also decided to make bagels the other night, but then actually baked them last night. If you've ever made bagels from scratch, it is a labor of love. So they turned out, I think, good. They're not very cute, but they were delicious. That's kind of what I was doing yesterday while making dinner and whatnot. So I think what I'm gonna do, maybe break it up and do like a nighttime / evening routine that I kind of do to set myself up for the next day, balancing kids and running a business, and then same thing with the morning routine, because all in all, it is such a layer of so many different routines and flows and mindset. Let me know down in the comments if that would be useful or helpful or something that you would like to see, and I would love to make it for you. I am just wrapping up this vlog here. I'm going to finish editing you over here, and then going to go ahead and take down my stats for all of my channels so I can keep track of that progress. Fridays, I am kind of keeping as a space where I can do some like creative process, leave some white space. There's actually an idea that I am playing with that my hubby actually encouraged me to do. So I'm thinking, and like it's one, way out of my comfort zone, but two, way out of what I usually do, but it is a creative project. So I'm thinking I may put that and block it out on my Friday mornings and take a whack at it, because this is the year of all things creativity. And if it lights me up and is exciting, then that's 100% what I'm going for. So I don't know if you have any guesses on what that might be, or anything that pops to your mind when I say that, go ahead and leave it down in the comments. I'll let you know if it's right or not. And if you want me to bring you behind that process too, 100% I will, because I think sometimes just seeing someone else take a chance on themselves or like do something out of their comfort zone gives us that confidence to borrow for whatever we're working on in our lives that is uncomfortable or just challenging, or maybe our mind is trying to get the better of us. So that's where I'm going to leave the vlog today. I am going to be uploading every Tuesday and Friday. Podcast days are going to be on Tuesday. And this is kind of like a turnaround crunch time this week because I wanted to take you guys along as I went and did face paint at my kiddo's school. But I hope that the new year is really off to a great start for you guys. I hope that you really enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And I'm so excited to see you guys next time.